Hey guys, good afternoon. Happy to see you all once again. Hi Simon, hi Tom. Tom, see you soon in Győr in Hungary. Hi Ivan. See you next week. Okay. I think we are already 8 minutes late. We are waiting, and so it's okay. Anyway, it will be recorded and it will be on YouTube, so people can always watch back. So let's begin. Now, the progress that we made since last month, and in this 1 month, what happened, and we'll try to discuss that one. So we were monitoring the new execution engine very closely, like how it's functioning, and was there any kind of bugs, or was there any problems that was reported from the users. But fortunately, there was no such problem. It is doing the work perfectly. We didn't have any kind of bugs. We didn't have any kind of errors, nothing. So far, so good. It's working completely fine. And why this is important is because we were thinking if everything is fine with the execution engine, then we will go ahead with adding a feature like where people can set their own stop losses and set their own targets. So now we are working on this one, and that will be released probably in 1 month or so, where you will be able to set your own stop loss and set your own take profits on the normal bots. Because on TSL, it doesn't make sense because it's already coming with pre-built thing. But on the normal strategies, yes, of course, you will be able to set your own take profits and your own stop losses also. And why this is important, I will discuss it a little later about that. So this is further evolution of this execution engine to make it possible for you to set your own stop loss and targets. And then sentiment analysis is getting much better, and now it's really very top notch, because we have removed some channels like which was making a lot of noise, and we selected those type of accounts and those type of sources which had a lot of predictive power over a period of 2 years. In the last 2 years, like whenever someone tweeted or someone wrote an article on cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, it had some impact on the market, and normally their predictions were almost 85-90% accurate. So we took like more and more such channels. It takes a lot of time to make research on reading all the tweets and to compare that one with the real market scenario, like whenever someone tweeted what really happened. Because anybody can say that Bitcoin to moon, or cryptocurrency is the next gold or something, which is a very optimistic statement. But the question is, when they are doing this, is there any impact on the prices or not? So that's where we get this predictive power. So we got like a lot more channels and a lot more sources, which is not so well known, but definitely very, very, very effective and very strong. So this is what we have added on our sentiment analysis engine now. And you will be able to see the effect from next month, because in this month, like we will be trying it on more on development side to see how it's evolving. And we have also migrated that to AWS server. So we will see like how it gets used to it. Once everything is fine, it will be pushed to production, and it will get only better like after we do this upgrade. And next month onwards, we will be pushing most of our infrastructure on AWS, and Amazon Web Service is the most cheapest one in cloud computing, and it's also the best. It will save us a lot of money, because it's nearly saving us 70% of our cloud computing cost. Currently, we are using Heroku, which is good like for small startup, when you just start with your company and in the initial stages. But as you grow, like now we are not really in a very early stage startup phase. We are in a growth phase right now. So the bills are too expensive right now. It's running into thousands and thousands of euros, tens and thousands of euros, to be honest. So that's why now we need to find a solution, and the solution was AWS. So in our team, like we have a lot of talents, and one of our developers took this initiative of learning Terraform, which is the language used on AWS himself. And after learning the language, like now he's deploying all our apps and other things that we have on our platform and on our infrastructure on AWS. So this is going to cost us a lot less money than Heroku. It's almost like 70% cost. Not just that one, it will give very good efficiency in terms of product performance. So this is something like which is great to migrate to AWS. So we will be doing that in the month of July. We have already started to work on it. The architecture is ready, but we just have to work a little bit more on it, and then we will be good to go on AWS. And the new website is going on very, very good now. Before, many of you who are on the call here probably might have attended the interview with one of the agencies that we were working with before. But we stopped to work with this agency because, first of all, their work was very mediocre. We had like big hopes from them, like they will be giving us a very good killer website with killer features of UX. We had to give ideas many a times ourselves, almost 80–90% of the time. And this was not really good for us because they didn't have their own creativity. They just took some feedbacks from people who had the call with them, but they couldn't transform those feedbacks into an actual product. So for me, it was a very big red flag, because if I bring in an expert to work on something, then I expect him to do 80% and 20% from our side. But what I saw here was like I was doing 80% and he was doing 20%. But for that 20%, why should I pay him 100% of the money? It doesn't make sense. So we sometimes like we have to, take decisions slowly when we want to go into something. But when we have to quit something or fire something, we have to be very fast. So that's why I fired this agency. We don't want to work with them anymore. And also they started to work with some of the freelancers. Fortunately, I know some of them because this country is not so big. So we are all somehow connected. And these guys were like very mediocre people, very, very mediocre UX experts. They're not even experts, by the way. So that's why I was very disappointed. And I was thinking like, no, this is not the way I want the website to be. But I know for sure, like I showed to some of the community people and they said like, it's good. But it's good because it's much better than what we have now. But this is not the vision that I have. My vision is not to create something better than what we have now. My vision is to create something which is, it's the one of the best in the industry, or probably the best in the industry. So that kind of feeling I didn't get. So for me, it was not satisfying to see something which is better than what we have now. But what I wanted to see is like a really amazing website. And I didn't feel that these people will be the one who will deliver it. So I was thinking like, what should we do now in this situation? Luckily, our product owner is himself an UX expert also. So what we did, like our UX, our product owner said he will be very happy to step in and he will take care of this UX designs and he can do this one himself. We gave him a chance, and like he is doing great work, amazing work, because he's an insider. He knows about the business perfectly. He knows about our products perfectly. He knows like how we want to bring it and how we have to present it to our users. Everything, he has a clear vision about that. So it was a no-brainer for us to go ahead with him. And maybe some B3s will be thinking now, like why we didn't do it at the first place. It was because we have not, we didn't have him in the team before we went to this agency. This agency, actually, we have been speaking since a long time. And last November, like we went to them and they wasted a lot of months for us. But we hired this product owner only in February this year. So he was not there when we had made this initial deal. Anyway, now he has finished his UX design. It's completely ready. We are also hiring an art director who will be designing the web design and a lot of other things like maybe brochures, logo design, brand identity, everything they will be doing. So we're hiring an art director now. If we get him early, then probably he will also be working on art direction. Otherwise, like our product owner itself can do this kind of art direction work, not to the extent of a art director, but to great extent less. He can do it himself. So this is where we stand, and UX is ready. UX is really good. And whatever the people were facing the problems before, we have solved all these problems, at least 95, 99% of the problems. So you don't have to, link your API keys at every single bot that you go to link it. And it doesn't work like that anymore. Like you just have to enter all your API keys at one place on the dashboard, and then that's it. You can use whatever the bots you want. And toggling between the bots, like you leave one and you go to another one. Everything has been made very, very easy. When it comes, like you will really appreciate it. And the colors and everything is very, very good, very beautiful. So this is completely ready. And what currently we are working on is about the DASP license. So we still could not get our compliance officer. There was only one compliance officer who was good, and she was working for another company on a part-time basis. So she said, like, as of now, we don't really need a full-time compliance officer, so she can be part-time here also. But when we saw her part-time contract from her company, it is clearly stating that she cannot work in a financial institution or a fintech company. But we fall under this category, so it will be a breach of contract, which I don't want to take. It's the risk that I don't want to afford. What is happening now is I'm taking some courses from one of the universities at Basel, like in Switzerland. They do these online courses like KYC and AML. So I'm training myself to be a compliance officer until then, so that we are not stopping the process. And the process is going to start in July. We received all the green lights from the lawyers and from the regulator, because before when we inquired like few years ago, the process was very straightforward. Like we simply go to a regulator and you fill up all the application form, and you give all the documents and you start it. Now it's not so, because there is many things like you need to give answers to the questionnaire of your legal agency that is dealing with you. And if they find certain things like which is not coming under the bracket of DASP, then they will tell you like not to apply it at all, because you will not get it. So there is different process now. Like first you have to clear this process, then you will have to communicate with the regulator. So it's a whole lot of process. So we cleared all this process now completely 100%. So we are 100% qualified for it. We don't have any problems in getting DASP. So everything is fine. And this has just opened up the doors for us to get into that. By second week of July, we are completely submitting all the documents to AMF, and we are starting this process. And one good thing about DASP is, like before, it was only for market making, custodian services, and brokerage services. Now they have expanded it even more. So now the expansion has even come to an extent of handling the accounts of clients, like a portfolio management. You can do portfolio management now. So it's almost like an asset management company getting DASP license. So even I'm thinking like, why do we need to get even a hedge fund license? Because you can do 90% of it, like having DASP itself. Like you can be a portfolio manager. And portfolio management is going to be amazing, because portfolio management is really, really important. Despite all the advances in the technology, still people have, portfolio managers in every single company, in every single hedge funds, because it has its own advantages, which I'll be discussing a little later about that. So we have also applied for this portfolio management. We have clearly explained it in our application form that we would like to go for it. So we are applying for like brokerage services, custodian services, and portfolio management services. So we are taking the complete pack, which is very good. It's good that we delayed it, or like the whole process got delayed, because in this, when it was delayed so much, we could get this advantage. Because if people got this DASP 2 years ago, then they will have to ask for special permissions now to provide other kind of services also. But since we are going for it now, and whatever is possible with DASP, we are covering everything. So it's really good that this happened, and like we are going ahead with this process. And yeah, what is the next topic that I would like to speak? Yes, so we are also like now looking for quant developers. Last time we hired a quant developer, but he didn't clear the due diligence of his documents and his experience certificates. Something was very fishy, so we didn't go ahead with this recruitment. But now we have like 3 candidates whom we are interviewing next week. So once we are finished with the complete interviewing process and the due diligence, then we will be hiring somebody, and we are starting the strategy factory and backtesting work from the 1st of July. If everything is fine, then 1st of July, we are completely starting it. So if we start in July, probably by August, September, October, like there is holiday also, vacations time, like November, December, we will have it. We will completely have it, and we will be able to, give it as a product. So the recruitment is going on fine. And also like this process of how we go forward from it, even that is fine. We worked a lot on creating an architecture, like how the backtesting engine should come and what kind of inputs it will be taking, whether it can work in different kind of time frames or cross time frames. Everything is perfectly designed very, very well, the architecture. So because this backtesting engine is not just for us, it's not just for strategy factory, but the same backtesting engine will be used for even build your own bots also. Because when you build your own bot, you need to backtest it to see like if it's performing well or not. Backtesting might not be the most important thing, but it will at least give you an indication that like, yes, it could have been a profitable strategy if it was there like few years ago. So it's not that something which I really, take it very seriously, but definitely that gives you a kind of conviction that probably it can work. That's all it says, or it will work if the same type of market is repeating. But markets are dynamic, it's not static. We all know it, but still without having any kind of data, I don't know how people will even select anything. Because if you don't even have a backtest result, then you don't even know whether a strategy is going to work or not. And backtesting, if it is completely useless, I don't think like biggest investment funds or hedge funds will be even doing it. So when they're doing it, there should be some reason behind that. So definitely, this is something like what we have taken into consideration. Also, that's why when you build your own bot, it's extremely important to have a very good backtesting engine, because we will have a build your own bot product where you can build it using Python language, or you can use it just rule based. So there will be one thing called as code based, which is using Python codes. Another one is rule based, where you will be using your technical analysis indicators, like, okay, if moving averages, a crossover happens, like go long, or if there is a death cross, like go short, or if it's like RSI 70 and moving average 50 and Bollinger Band, something else, like do this, do that. You can build your own bots. You can also like backtest it. If it's fine, like you can use it for yourself. And if you feel that like it's good and others can also use it, then you will have to submit this strategy. We will watch it for 1 month or 2 months. If it's performing fine, then we will be allowing you to post it on the marketplace, so that even other people will be able to use these strategies by purchasing it from you, and we will just take a small profit cut in that strategy. So this is how it is going to happen. And this is a very big business, this build your own bot. It's a huge business. I've seen like platforms like Trility and Krill and all these people, like they have made huge amount of money from this build your own bot things. It's extremely profitable business. So we will be going there like by end of this year. Yes, and I was watching the strategies itself, like when you have clear trend, then the normal bots that we have, the normal strategies that we have will work good. But we didn't see that during the downturn phase right now, like when everything is going down, it didn't go down in the same way. And the result is very, we made a lot of research on it to really think and introspect, like why it's happening that way. The thing is like the trend following strategies that we have, it doesn't have any stop loss on its own, but we are restricting it by a stop loss. If people remember properly, like when we launched on 15th of September, everybody went for BNB positional bot and XRP short-term bot, everybody. They were running to it like how a child runs towards the gift on 25th of December during the Christmas time, just running for it. Everybody remembers that one. But do you remember like it was like in November or December, like when there was a huge crash, suddenly 10% fall on BNB positional bot also, then people were like, why it's still in the position, like it should trigger a stop loss. It didn't trigger a stop loss because for the strategy, the trend reversal has not happened. Just one candle, red candle, doesn't mean it's a trend reversal. So there is always a trade-off, whether you want to have like completely trend following strategy, or you would like to restrict the trend following strategy by applying your own rules of take profit and stop loss. So what we did, we put like 12% target initially, like for the long, and it was 8% target for the short. And later on, like markets were getting very dirty, and like we didn't feel like 12% was too ambitious. We reduced it to 8%, and now it has been reduced to 6%. And short, it's reduced to 4%. So we have reduced to 4 to 6%, something like that one right now. And this one actually, it's not the way it has to be. Because like in trend following strategy, you should just allow it to ride the trend. And if you just allow it to ride the trend, yes, like it will be in the short, like continuously until the reversal is happening. And if there is just one candle, green candle suddenly coming up, it will not react to it. But there is also danger here. For example, any coin like UST, for example, let's think UST was a altcoin and it's not a stable coin. Let's think it was a altcoin. And there was one single red candle, like 80 cents to 20 cents or 10 cents or something. Yes, there's every chance like you will lose your money in this strategy if such a thing happens. But what is the chance that such an event will happen every time? Not so much. Maybe it will fall down like slowly and slowly. And maybe we will watch like one 30-minute candle closing or like 2 30-minute candle closing. And then it will think like, okay, trend has reversed. So after 1 hour, it will react to it. Or after 1.5 hours, it will react to it. But otherwise, like just one single red candle, no, it will not react to it. So if it was really a scam or something happened, yes, there is a chance that we will lose the money. Otherwise, on the normal circumstances, if you just allow that to have, to follow the trend and to allow that to do what it wants to do, it will do good. But now what happened, like normal bots, what was happening, because we have applied the stop loss and the target, it was falling down, but there were like sharp rises which was happening. And whenever there was a sharp rise, it was triggering the stop loss. And after triggering the stop loss, it's coming down. So it never longed actually in the last few weeks. It shorted like 90% of the time. 10% of the time when it was just like, up and down, it longed. But other times it always shorted. But when it's shorting, the trailing stop losses are getting kicked. And when it's touching the trailing stop losses, like it's getting, like it's getting into loss, and then it's not getting into another position after that one. So this is a major problem. And there are like ways to solve these problems also, because every problem has a solution. There is no such problem which is not coming with any solution except B3s, because that's a problem which doesn't have any solution. But apart from that, we have solution for every single thing. So the first solution would be to allow trend following strategies to just follow the trend. That is one thing. We should not think about like targets or stop loss. Because in trend following strategies, honestly, there is no such thing called as like target or stop loss. I've not seen that happening in any institutional, like platforms or like in hedge funds or something. They just allow it. But in hedge funds, like there is human and he will take a call on that one, whether he will allow to write this one or not. It's like machine is generating the signals, machine is monitoring it, but he is taking the decisions based on the machine's output. This is how it works. So probably this is one solution. And there is another solution, which is like we monitor it ourselves, like when it's happening, and we take some decisions based on it. So the second form is something like what I'm planning to do with the GuruBot, like once the first level of subscription is finished, because it was in May that first subscription started. So June, July, and August it finishes. I want to kick out some XB3s from this one. And then what we are doing, like me and one more quant trader, and I will be getting one more quant trader also. So there'll be 3. And once we have 3, like we can spread the time between 8 hours each or something like that, because it's 24 hours. And then we will have to monitor the markets. The machine will generate the signal. And when the machine is generating the signal, we will think whether we should enter this position or not. And when we are entering this position, then we will decide when we will exit out of the position, because entry everybody can do. Exit is the most important thing. And this is where like we go wrong sometimes, because when we panic and we come out, then we miss the trade, and probably we will go back to it later on after some time. And maybe it's not the best time to, like enter that particular trade at that point of time. So that's why we can do this kind of strategy, like where machines are generating the signals, but human is making his call on this particular signal. This is what we call as like quantamental strategies, or the strategies that was developed by Marcos Lopez de Prado, who is called as God of Quant. And he gave this concept of machine generated signals, but monitored and action taken by humans. I think like this is one of the best ways to solve this problem. Also, we are thinking about everything. And anyway, like once we get DASP, when we can do portfolio management, then we will really have like 3 quant traders. Like, of course, I will be one of them, and we will monitor the markets 24 hours. So we will be 8 hours each. We will need like 3 or 4 people constantly watching the markets, and then making our decisions based on it. Like it's like an actively managed fund, but signals and everything derived by the technology. So the technology gives you what you have to do, and it will give you a lot of indications like where it's going towards and everything. We will be, of course, monitoring the sentiment analysis in the real time. We will be monitoring the markets in the real time. We'll be seeing the technical analysis in the real time. Everything will be doing it, but we will take the right decision at the right time. So this is how I see it. And also we need to have, mean reversion strategies, because we have only trend following as of now. Mean reversions are extremely important. Because mean reversions alone cannot be good, but it's good when you have trend following, because both should be there. And for Strategy Factory, we need to have more and more strategies. If we just have like 2 or 3 strategies, it's not enough. So if B3s are thinking like, no, you should just have like 2 or 3 strategies, it's more than enough. If it was enough, like then there was no need to make so many strategies. And so many strategies are extremely important for Strategy Factory, because if you don't have many strategies, then Strategy Factory will not work. In fact, Strategy Factory, I will tell you honestly, it's a tool. It's not a strategy itself. It's a tool which selects, which optimizes, which tries to like creates variations of the same strategy. So it's just a tool. It's not the strategy. So you need to give it as much as possible. You need to give it as many strategies as possible. Then it will try to create different variations of all the strategies and try to see statistically which has the higher rate of winning. So it's not that like we want to have millions of strategies, but we want to have them because we need that one for Strategy Factory. So this is how I see it. And of course, like when we have like community built bots also, we will also be allowing you to contribute to the factories of strategies, like your own strategies. You can feed it to factory of strategy. Maybe it can get selected or not, but you can always contribute if you wish, and if your strategy is really good. And we'll be onboarding many, third-party bot providers, like even going forward. Right now, like we have the 2 people like whom we have onboarded already, and we'll be onboarding many more people to make a very diverse marketplace. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it from my side. And if any questions are there, like I will be happy to take it. So please type your questions in the chat. With the own TP or stop loss, will we be able to choose trailing, or is it normal only? It will be normal at the first place, and then we will watch how it is working in this situation. If it works very well, then after observation for 1 month or a little bit more than that one, if it is stable, then we will also add this feature, like where you will be able to trial your own stop losses also. So it is there. It will be the second version of the evolution. Any details about the next Saturday, where and when? This we will have to speak with our Croatian friends. Maybe we all can meet at a good restaurant for a lunch, and from there onwards, like we can go somewhere, sit and chat. Probably I can recommend some restaurants. I can have a look online and suggest something. Sure. So yeah, like we will be in Zagreb. So we will have a lunch, and this is how I see it. Like we will have a lunch, and then we go talk somewhere, and I will also probably bring something and show to people there. Yeah, it will be more about like speaking about BQ, speaking with the products, and just like a friends meetup also. So it will be a mix of everything. I have a solution for B3. If you don't mention them, they don't matter. Sure, but I'm not really sure about that one. Does bot monitor correlation of certain coins with BTC and movement of BTC? Correlation analysis is a good thing because it's part of econometrics. But actually in cryptos, it's very hard to derive alpha from this type of strategies, because normally like there are like different phases in like in crypto market. Like we have a bearish phase, consolidation phase, and then halving phase, and then comes bullish phase. So it works very differently in every single phase. So we to adapt to different situations and to derive alpha from it, it's not so easy. Because sometimes when markets are fine, like when Bitcoin pumps, everything pumps, and when Bitcoin dumps, everything pumps also. I mean, like in extremely bullish markets, but it doesn't work in the same way like in other types of markets. So seeing the correlation is a nice thing. It's a good like data analytics kind of experiment. but making a model out of it, it's bit difficult, and also like it can be a bit risky, but we can do it. Of course, it's not a big problem. Actually, we can do it. Hi Guru, I'm sorry for late joining. We might have already talked about this, but how do you see crypto markets in next 6 months to 1 year? Been seeing many companies who are laying off employees. They say the recession is likely to hit by first half of 2023. Overall markets are down. So how is going to be in near future? Next 6 months to 1 year will be very, very hard. Not just 1 year, to be honest, like next 18 months will be very, very hard, really very hard, because we are just in the beginning of the bear market, to be honest. It's just started now. It's not even at the middle or something. And don't listen to any of those people who are calling something as a bottom, so saying like, okay, we now are very close to 2018 highs, and we exactly are below that, and something is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. All these are hopium, and unfortunately, I will not give you any hopium. I'll just give you what is the truth. I sell the things as it is. I don't like to sugarcoat things. And what I feel is like markets are going to go down further from this point. We will see Bitcoin around like 12,000 to 14,000 sooner or later. It will not happen tomorrow, or who knows, maybe. But this time there is too much of problems. I mean, the real problems, because back in 2015, 17, why markets fell was because of different reason. There was bubble, and there were scams, and there were so many things. But now, more than having a very ugly scam, but we have something what we call as like white collar scams. Like we had a Luna scam, we had all this UST and all this depegging, and then now we have like USDD, like, which is another stable coin by Tron. And even this looks very dangerous. Like it's constantly depegging every now and then. And what the foundation of Tron is doing is quite similar to what Luna was doing actually. And even their way of like backing up and everything is like very ugly. So even this will blow up sooner or later. It will definitely blow up. And we are already seeing like what's happening on DeFi protocols. Like many people have staked their Ethereum, and it's called as like a staked Ethereum, like STETH. Even that has lost its peg. So if the peg has to come back, then they will have to sell the real Ethereum. And many of the projects like had the liquidation at $1,100 for Ethereum. So they have already been liquidated now. And there are many more people who will get liquidated, because the Celsius, 3AC, all these things we are hearing because they're too big and they're too popular. But there are thousands and thousands of such projects, which is into problem, which is over collateralized, over leveraged trading. 3 L's will spoil your life. 3 L's: liquor, ladies, and leverage. Just have it in your mind. Okay, if these 3 things hits you, then you are finished. And exactly these people are doing that one. 3AC, which is among the top 3 biggest venture capitals in the whole world, they did exactly that. Leverage trading. Come on, like these people are supposed to be the smartest guys. They raised $480 million. How much? $480 million. $500 million. $500 million. And what they did with that money, they bought Luna. They put half of that money on Anchor protocol, on UST. And that $480 million is now worth only $600. Only 600 from $480 million. And all the money what they earned is 20% on UST, this interest on Anchor protocol. Everything is finished. Everything is gone. You see, they gambled everything, and that's why they are facing insolvency now. And it's finished. So there are a lot of such things, and greed is too much in this industry. It's too much in this industry. When I speak to even industry leaders, like who are very top, I mean, like among the top 50, coin market cap projects, I can see the level of, greed these people have. Really very, very greedy people. Very greedy people, very cunning people. And they're taking all this kind of risk. So we don't know, like, what we know is the people who are in the public domain, like this 3AC and Celsius and all these people. We don't even know, like, the liquidation price of Michael Scheller. He's saying something, I mean, like, publicly, but you don't know, I don't know, no one knows. Nobody really knows the price of liquidation of, of MicroStrategy. If that happens, he's having 125,000 Bitcoins. If it comes to the market, everything, Bitcoin will come back to 3,000 or something. Honestly, that much of money nobody has now to buy that many Bitcoin. Nobody has. So that's why it's not a market like which is just the bearish market now, but there is a substance for this fall to happen. And I don't think like this fall is going to get stabilized anytime soon. Anytime soon. Go below, 17,000, Celsius is getting liquidated, or 14,000 or something. And like now, all the staked Ethereum on Aave, Compound protocol, all these protocols, like wherever they have taken the loan by giving Ethereum as a collateral, they will get liquidated. And all this liquidation, if it's happening on Ethereum, then definitely like Ethereum prices will come down to $600 or something like that one. So there is only one way, and that will be a very painful way, and that is downside. And every time people are expecting a relief rally to happen, but that never comes. So even this is very strange this time, because this was not the same in 2018. We had the fall, very big fall, much more bigger than what we had now, very quickly. But we had the quick bounce also. It was like falling down and bounce, falling down and bounce, falling down and bounce. Now we have like just falling down, down and down. Bounce, we have hardly few percent. But if you see the daily candle and weekly candle, it's completely red. So markets are going to be very ugly for next 18 months. There's nothing going to happen. But only thing that is good is like we can DCA or do my SIP strategy on good coins and hold them for the next bull market to happen. And in the next bull market, like Web3 and all this space, like will be again booming, and we will make like very good amount of money. So recession is I think, if Fed is like so much scared and raising 75 basic points, and trust me, United States is not a developing country. It's the largest economy. And if they are so much scared about the economy, really there should be something then. So recession can happen. Who knows? Maybe possible. So next 18 to 24 months will be very difficult. Do you think we should move our holdings to USDT? I mean, I have holdings good top coins, BNB, ETH, which have already fallen below 50 to 70%. If markets are going down to fall even further, then would it make sense to sell off all the holdings and move to USDT, or at least next couple of weeks or months? You should have asked this question like few months ago or few weeks ago, not now. Don't do it. If you do it now, like, then you will lose everything. What I am saying is like, a few months ago, you had a nice tuxedo, nice bow, and a nice jacket and everything. Now you are just with your undies. And now, like, if you're selling it, you will lose even that. You will be completely naked. So don't do that one. Now is not the time. Now is not the time to really do these kind of things. Because what will happen, you will liquidate all your positions now. You will think like, okay, you will buy back later on. Maybe there is a bounce, temporary bounce. You get stressed. You will feel like, okay, it's a FOMO is happening, and like you sold it at the bottom, and you will go back and buy it again at the top. Again, it will dip. So it's a monkey business, and nobody makes money in this strategy. Either be a hodler, just hodl, or be a trader. But don't try to be both. It's not possible. You should be either on earth or in the sky. You cannot keep one leg here and one leg there. So don't try to sell anything now. It will bleed a lot. Just allow it to happen. And, like next bull market phase, when it comes, everything is going to move up. So nothing to worry about it. Like we have seen these things happening a lot of times in the past, and It's not new what's happening now, or nothing different what's happening now. Any more questions? Is it still a good idea to remove stop loss from the bots in these times? Well, don't do it. Don't do it, because bots are not trading for. I think you are referring to the altcoin bot, to be very specific. And altcoin bots intention is not to hodl, or it is not saying which coin is good or which coin is bad or something like that. If there is momentum in something, and these are just momentum driven trades. So momentum driven trades are not necessarily on a good coin, like where I can comfortably tell you like, yes, remove your stop loss because this coin is good and you will get it. You will get a better price some one or the other day. I cannot really tell that one on the coins that altcoin bot really chooses. And also when you buy something for trading, then trade with that one and never try to have a investment mentality. Like this is what I have done in my career. Like in the beginning with stock markets, I was trying to do BTST. BTST means buy today, sell tomorrow. So at the end of the stock market, before 30 minutes, we were watching the stock that has huge momentum, and we were saying like which is a stock like which has too much buying in the last 30 minutes. We were buying that one, and stock market closes. And next day in the morning when it opens, like if the demand continues in the same way, we used to sell it. So this is called as buy today, sell tomorrow, BTST. But what happened was when we buy something for BTST, it has to be BTST, right? Buy today, sell tomorrow. But I was not doing that one. It was buy today and sell never. This is what the real situation was. I was buying it and I was thinking like, okay, in the morning I saw like 2 or 3%, 1% brokerage is going. In stock market, the brokerage is too high. And if you're making 3%, it's like 1% you are paying for the broker, 2% for you. And I was like, no, maybe like at the end of the day today. And already it's down by end of the day. And I was like, no, actually, like I just bought it for delivery, And delivery word in stock market means like you're carrying it for several days or several weeks. So the broker was saying like, hey, wasn't it supposed to be BTST? And I was like, no, I bought it for BTST, but I was ready for delivery. And the delivery, like one day I looked at so many stocks was there in my portfolio. Everything like this one, buy today, sell tomorrow. It never happens. And it finally becomes delivery. And these type of stocks were not something like which I bought it out of my research or what I really loved to have it in my portfolio. It just came accidentally. So don't go for, this kind of accidental coins also. Because I suffered in 2017 because of this mentality. I had some coins which I loved too much. And I was thinking like, yeah, it's good. Like, maybe like tomorrow it will go, day after tomorrow. No, it was not going. And they didn't even have any credible business, to be honest. It was just like something like a big hype. Finally, I got caught. And today also they are in my wallet, but they have no value, absolutely no value. 2018, like afterwards, everything died. And they don't even exist today. Many coins I have, they don't even exist today. Some of them don't even trade on any exchanges. So don't get into that one. So please don't remove any stop losses. This is not the kind of market where you should remove the stop losses. Back then, I was asking you to remove the stop losses because we were in a bull market. In bull market, everything will go up. And even if you're having a project like which is not really strong, it doesn't matter. If it has hype, it will go. Like all these metaverse projects now, all these play to earn projects now. Play to earn projects like I heard, like I came to know something just like 6 months, 8 months ago, the projects that they raised money to build this play to earn, it seems they are already running out of money, and probably they will not even launch any product. It's finished. It's game over. So there will not be any kind of project or product or nothing as such. So that's why don't do that one. Like, please have stop losses. If it hits stop loss, it's fine. It's fine. Like there will be another time and another trade, like where we will always earn. So we have 2 minutes more, and before I think there is no question, so I will conclude by saying that we are also working on low frequency strategies now, and spot strategies afterwards. So in low frequency strategies, like we will not be actively, having so many signals, but there will be very few signals. But the intention is to hold, and intention is not to trade, but to hold. It will be based on a daily candle or based on 3-day candle. So we are coming out with this kind of product, and also we will try to make this kind of portfolio management for clients, and we will do it for everybody very seriously once we get DASP. But until that, we will also be trying with some of our clients. And first, initially, we will do it for 1 month, and we will show you the result, because we are confident that this is definitely going to work. And of course, everything else, like it's perfectly going fine, and it's according to what we expected. We wanted to hire many more profiles, but we want to go slow now, because we don't want to waste all the money when we are in a bear market, when we cannot really have a good results from that one. I'm more looking at like organic partnerships, like with exchanges and other kind of people who can bring more users to us. Yeah, this is what we need to do now, like as part of marketing. And once we finish this one, and when we start to feel that markets is getting stable and new bull run is coming, then we can, like go for full on marketing. Because in bear markets, hardly anybody will be interested in anything now. And many people might have left the market also, but everybody will come back in the bull market, or when halving period starts. That is the time, like when we go and we attack everybody in every single platform. So that's it, guys. Addition to my question and some opinion, but can speak in Zagreb about that. For example, if BTC dumps in 5 minutes time frame for 5%, and we expect recovery, like, is it now for 3 days pump and dump? Some coins are doing more percentage than BTC because of market cap, etc. So a couple of trade in this time for certain coins is at least between 5 to 15% of movement, and for BTC is 3 to 5%. This should be good in factory of strategy. Now, factory of strategy is not exactly looking at this particular thing. Like it's not about the correlation; it's about the variation. So a correlation is like purely different types of, it's a trading game. Like this is what we do in econometrics. Econometrics is a branch of data science, like where we try to see like every percentage gain or loss in BTC, how much impact will it make to any other kind of coins, and what is closely related to Bitcoin and what is inversely related to Bitcoin. So this is what we do. And we actually like made some preliminary examination in this one, but econometrics works very good, like between stocks and commodities, stocks and exotic pairs, these kind of things. But crypto, like to derive this kind of alpha, it's very, very difficult. But strategy of factory is not doing that one. Strategy of factory is just creating different variations of different strategies. So it will create variations in different time frames with different technical indicators, with different pattern recognition systems. So what is the best possible scenario for the day today? I mean, like for today's trade, that is what it's going to select. So factory of strategy is working on a different way than econometrics way. You once mentioned high frequency bots. Is there any news for them? High frequency bots, it can be nice, but once again, like with the kind of volumes that we have right now in the bear market, it will be very difficult because we need, quite active market for that one. And high frequency bots will not make profits in this type of market when we don't have so much of liquidity. So I don't know really like how high frequency bots can work in this kind of low volume market. And also there is a plan like to make this kind of arbitrage bots between different exchanges and different decentralized exchanges. And once we are successful there, then we can think about, high frequency strategies, because they are somehow interconnected for making that one. So we need to get these things right. This will be the foundation, and then we can go to the high frequency trading. But high frequency trading can also be profitable if we have almost zero fees. But if fees are very high, like even the profits can be almost nothing, because high frequency bots, like they make several trades for very, 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 very small profits, for very small profits. And on Binance, to get that kind of a small brokerage, we need to stake thousands and thousands of BNB. And if we stake thousands and thousands of BNB plus certain amount of trading volumes, they will give us like very, very, very small brokerage. But right now the fees will be too high to make profits with high frequency bots, especially with the liquidity that we have now. So it's a liquidity and fees. This is the question. So even if we solve the problem of liquidity, the fees will always be the major problem. But if we have like too many, like a BNB, and like if we can negotiate with the exchange as well, then yes, definitely it will be possible. Arbitrage strategies were supposed to come only for B2B clients, but not for staking clients. Did I remember that correctly? No, it's not even for B2B clients, but it will be only for the internal use of our company. I mean, like for BCUBE. This will be for decentralized exchanges that we are building. Currently, we have built something for Ethereum blockchain. We tested it a few times, but when we built it, the fees were too high. But now I think fees are getting lower and lower, like less than $20 per transaction. So we will try to, test it, like if it comes around $10 or something, then we will be able to see like how much profit it can make. But definitely next we will be expanding into Polygon Matic and BNB chain, and these kind of chains, like where we have low fees and also very fast transaction. But the major problem that we are facing with arbitrage strategies on decentralized exchange is not even about the fees or something, but it's about the lack of real-time data, because there are only few protocols like which gives you the real-time data. For example, we used Covalent, and we used Graph, the Graph, like the coin that we have also in our portfolios. So the Graph and the Covalent was still, Graph is a bit difficult because you have to make your own specification on that platform. It's not like plug and play. It's not like you have everything when you go on that platform, like you have to customize it a lot. But at the same time, on Covalent, like you have plug and play feature, like with just an API, you can get this information. But again, these informations are like bit delayed. Like it simply means, like, for example, when you watch a night sky, you watch a lot of stars in the sky, right? You watch a lot of stars in the sky. But do you know many of the stars are already dead? They don't even, they're not even alive anymore. Do you know that? They're not even alive anymore, actually, the stars that you're watching with the night sky, because they are so many millions and millions of light years away that the light takes millions of years to travel to Earth, like what we are seeing it. So many stars don't even exist. So this is the same problem what we are facing with the statistical arbitrage bot on decentralized exchange, because they are always saying it's real-time data, but it's not real-time data. There is like 1 minute, 2 minutes delay. And if we try to wrap a trade, like let me say WETH wrapping with WBNB, and WBNB wrapping up with WSTORY, STORJ, and this one like wrapping up with the SIA coin and like something else. So you are wrapping this one, or you are going this cyclic arbitrage, thinking the information what you received from Graph or someone is credible. But in these 2 minutes, it has made so much of changes that actually this is completely invalid. The circle is completely invalid. And to solve this problem, we need to have a node of this particular coin on our own server. Like if we are planning to do this on, let me say on Polygon, then we need to have a node of Polygon Matic. If we have a node, then we get the real-time data. And then we can make this kind of strategies, which will be highly profitable. So that is the reason like why we are speaking to, different type of protocols to see like if they can give us an access to their node, whether directly or someone whom they know who are running their nodes. So that once we have these nodes and connection to their node directly on the blockchain, then we will be able to make this one very, very easily. And the second major challenge that is there on the decentralized exchange bots is if you're using small amount of money, it's highly profitable. If you use huge amount of money, it will create slippages, front running, back running, all these things are happening. So if you use like just $1,000, $5,000, it's fine. It wraps very good. If you give like $200,000, $500,000, it doesn't work because it's very difficult, because it's very, like not so mature like a centralized exchange. Excuse me. So this is the challenge we are facing in a decentralized exchange after making a lot of research on that. That's why we are making a partnership very, very soon, which we will announce it with a very big blockchain. And then we will be able to go ahead with this process and make use of that opportunity. So that's about arbitrage parts on decentralized exchanges. So guys, that's it from my side, and that's what we did in this month. We will have more to say during the September, because we will be having too many product launches and website and everything coming up. And until then, there won't be anything, because everything is still work in progress, but there is no product which is there out, which you can see or appreciate that. Yeah, a few months down the line, everything will be there in front of everybody. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me and spending this afternoon. I'm waiting to see you in our meetups, like next week in Zagreb. Everybody can join, like even if you're not from Croatia, like you can of course come there and make a small vacations if you wish, or else like after not next week but after week, you can come to Győr, which is my city in Hungary. We can make a picnic. We will be making a picnic next to a nice Danube River, so we will have a good time there. So please join us. We can have lunch and we can have beers. We can enjoy here very much. So you're welcome. I'm calling you once again, like this is a very good occasion for us to meet and speak, because I always prefer to meet people face to face and speak, because I'm not an online tiger, like who keeps roaring something online and bullshitting stuff. I try to meet the people and face them. This is my style. And any type of like B3s, this is the time for you to, be nice. So you can become nice if you come and meet me. So come and meet me like at some other places. Definitely we can have a good chat. So thank you so much, guys. Like everything is perfectly there. And I do understand the frustration of people sometimes, but what people also need to understand is that BCUBE is not building a simple software. It's not a simple software as a service company. It's not a simple, a software like which is so easy to build. But what we are building is like super complicated and super sophisticated. And if we just wanted to build something, we could have done it. But what we are trying is with the deeper technology, with the deeper meaning, and with the very strong values that we have. So this process it takes some time. And once we get that, then we will be, winning almost all the time. I'm saying almost all the time, because it doesn't mean like we will not lose at all. Of course, we will do it. And this is not about like, I heard a lot of words of people like how scalability is or something. And I have spoken about this scalability infinite number of times. There are so many protocols like where you can spread your trade between 10 different exchanges. So your money will be in Binance, but it works in a different way. It works on Huobi. We will take some liquidity from Huobi, some liquidity from KuCoin, some liquidity from FTX, some liquidity from Binance. I have thought about all these things even before we started this company. So liquidity is not an issue. And there are some other concerns like which I keep hearing from, people like close to me about others' concern. It's not their concern, it's others' concern about the limitations of trading and scalability. Once again, like we know about the limitations, we know how to sort out these limitation problems also. Without understanding these things, we didn't come to business. We know these things very, very well. We know where we have to improve, and we know like what is not working, because if people know it, we definitely know it also. And we know the solutions, but as solutions are not like, coming overnight like that. But what I am saying is like we are laying a very, very strong foundation towards a better future, a better tomorrow. And that is very serious, and that is very honest approach, that we really know what has to be changed and what we have to do it. So it's all coming up, it's all coming soon. Once we have it, like everybody will be very happy. And people just see it as a company as if like we are doing only strategies. Like we will have millions of ways to make money going forward. We have portfolio management, and that will give huge amount of money, because in portfolio management, like, as I have already said, like we are in discussions with a lot of big companies, hedge funds, with venture capitals, private equity. They would like to put some of their money with us and like want us to manage it actively. So we will make this quantamental strategies, like getting the strategies signals, but we will make the decision finally based on it. So there are like n number of ways to create revenues for the company, and to go forward with a different type of offerings and different type of products. So we are well positioned to do all these things, and we have a very good team which can execute the things. There is no other company like which has come so far and delivered so much of things in such a less period of time. It's such a small period of time. That is really true, which everybody have to accept it. We have delivered everything what we have promised so far on time. We delivered the new execution engine. We came out with a new approaches, everything. Things are not, like perfect. Never. Nobody has said that. And I will never accept it also. But things can always go towards perfection. And that is what I strongly believe in. I'm not a pessimistic guy, or I'm not an optimistic guy. I'm a very realistic person. Like I see everything in a realistic scenario, and I know what we are doing, because these things are not something like I'm coming to this field yesterday or tomorrow. Like I've seen this field for long enough. I know what works, what doesn't work, and if something is not working, what we need to do it. So there are like some constraints, like about the hiring process we are having, because it's very difficult to find the kind of talent that I am looking for, because there are mediocre people, but we don't want mediocre people, because all the people in our team, like they come from very good backgrounds, very good education, and also they know what they are doing, and that's the type of people that we would like to work with. It's not just about the education qualification, but really they should be able to deliver the things. So we are looking for best talents, and sometimes it's difficult to find, and I'm not the person who will compromise on this fact. That's why it's taking a bit late, but we will fix everything very soon. And anybody like, who is not believing in the story of BCUBE, I don't know what they will really believe in their life, to be very honest. Because if they want to believe in some kind of scam, everybody are like that in this world, as far as I have seen. They believe the scams, but they will not believe something which is true. It's like, it always happens again and again. And I can give like n number of examples, like how people didn't show interest, and finally these were the same people that they came back. I can tell you, even now, history will repeat. People who sold it at 4 cents, they will buy back at $4, and we will see it. And we will all have the final laugh at that point of time. So guys, that's it from my side, and we are doing great, and we will keep doing amazing things. If there is something like, then I would definitely, like update you all with what is happening and where we are going towards. One thing is true, that BCUBE is just a small baby, which is like 9 months old baby. And when it becomes like a little bit more mature, then it is going to roar, because it's a tiger. And if it's crying, like, then let them, like people who are dumping or anything, let them do it, because these dumpers can come to me and I will pay them the money and I will buy their tokens directly. I don't even know why they are not approaching me or the company, like saying they would like to, if these people are watching this video later on when it gets recorded, then I'm telling you, I'm putting this on records. Please contact me. I will buy all your 500,000 BCUBE tokens and I will pay you the market price. You don't need to dump it on Uniswap. You just dump it to my wallet. I will buy it myself. Personally, I will buy it myself. If you want company to buy it, company has money, company will buy back the tokens. So don't dump it in the market, please. So that's it. Let them do what they're doing, but victory will be ours. That much I can tell you. Victory is ours and we are going in the right direction and everything is fine. And yeah, it can only be good going forward. So that's it, guys. And for those people who will be coming to Croatia, we'll be meeting next Saturday. For those people who will be coming to my city, we will see you on 2nd of July in Hungary.